This is the Talent, Sales, and Scale Show. Now, how about resources that you might recommend, books, podcasts, guides, communities that people should check out?
Yeah, well, I think if you're listening to the podcast today, you're already starting off on the right foot. Sales RX podcast also, shameless self plug there. Mostly we just talk about like top of funnel activity, prospect conversion, time management principles, mindset, motivation. So it's more geared for SDRs, BDRs, SDR managers, sales reps that are responsible for top funnel activities, sales leaders looking to improve their top funnel activity. Pavilion's a great community. It's a paid community. There's structured training and development. There's skill certification. There's one-on-one mentorship. There's community powered learning. There's online events. There's digital community where they're literally doing everybody says, oh, I don't need another virtual happy hour, but now there's in-person events and chapters and different chapters across the country. I mean, we even have a Birmingham, Alabama chapter. Like, how cool is that? You know what I'm saying? I think those are two great places to get started. Sales books, I recommend there's a holy trinity of sales books I recommend everybody read. Fanatical Prospecting by Jeb Blunt, Gap Selling by Keenan, and Atomic Habits by James Clear.
Nice. Okay.
One teaches you how to do the core SDR job and teaches you the value of it. The other teaches you sales speak, which is gap selling. And then Atomic Habits teaches you, a lot about process and consistency and things of that nature. Another book I would recommend, which was actually a lot of Atomic Habits kind of ripped off the content, but it's got some different insights, is The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. That's like an advanced book, but it was written before Atomic Habits. And he kind of builds upon like the 1% rule and things of that nature. And it's about like Atomic Habits, they call it habit stacking.
Yeah.
Darren Hardy called it the compound effect. So
okay.
6 in one, half dozen the other. I would say read Compound Effect first, but everybody knows Atomic Habits. So if you read Atomic Habits, you're going to have a wider range of discussions available to the broader audience, because that's the more famous of the two, just because James Clear is a great marketer.
Yeah, it's a good book too. I always steal from the line about the person that practices the foundation or practices the fundamentals with more exuberance than anybody, right? So that's what really sets you apart, is can you do the mundane with excellence? Now, how about the future? What do you see that coming down the pike, Chet? What do you like? This is going to be great, or oh my gosh, this is not going to be good.
I see a youth in revolt in not only leadership, but senior leadership. I'm seeing heads of sales that 5 years ago wouldn't even be a director of sales. I'm seeing SDR managers that 5 years ago wouldn't even be account executives. I think that's good. I also think it's bad. I think there's a world where people are learning what to say and how to do things really fast and not getting enough time to experience why that's important. There are people similar to my background who are out here convincing people that they're sales gurus and making, $250,000, $300,000 a year, getting people to sell them, to buy corporate contracts on how to consult their sales dev team and stuff like that. I can't tell you the amount of people that consistently on a daily basis tell me I should go out on my own, or I have the ability to. That's not attractive to me. I like doing it on the side when I can help. That's not attractive to me because I still have a lot to learn and I want to keep building, right? There are a lot of people who read a book, go and do it once, and then want to sell everybody on how to do it. And that's really scary to me, because people are taking advice from these people too. There are people that have learned how to trick the TikTok algorithm that have no business telling people how to sell. There are people who have learned how to trick the LinkedIn algorithm that are trying to tell people, go quit your job and be your own solopreneur. Don't do that. Like, go build something, get that life experience. I know it's not what you want, but listen to Matthew McConaughey talk about delayed gratification on the Joe Rogan podcast, and how he explains to his kids about his Oscar that he got for Dallas Buyers Club. There's got to be delayed gratification. Look, if you're 25 years old and you're not a TikTok all-star that has your own online community where you're selling $100 memberships and the SDR playbook of the future, that's okay. So we need to slow down a little bit. I think the trend is that we're getting faster in a bad way. I think it's also good. The pro of it is that information can spread quicker, right? So we can help scale people, but we as people need to care more about vetting who we're talking to. Chet and Bryan are qualified to give advice. Chet and Bryan aren't TikTok superstars. I create content on TikTok. I'm not a superstar. We're not LinkedIn superstars. We both put content out. We get good engagement. We're not LinkedIn sales stars. we need to be very careful about who we're taking information from. And unfortunately, people that are under the age of 30 who are eager just to get to the next step by any means are just taking the information from whoever they can get it, they're buying a dream. And so we need to slow down a little bit, but also like, and that's just a people thing. Like I challenge people, really vet who you're listening to. Was somebody a BDR manager for 8 months before they went out and became a sales consultant? Or did somebody work in sales development for 5 to 6 years, build several teams? Like, you know what I mean? Like, look at the history of the person that you're listening to, because in the end, it can do you more harm than good. Don't rush the process. I talked to a guy the other day, and I know we're running up on time, so I'll be quick with my story here. But I talked to a guy the other day who it's like, hey, I'm an SDR. Well, I thought he was an SDR manager. He said, I've been tasked with building a program at this 50-person company for the SDR team. I said, okay, I can help. Like, he was like, can somebody chat with me? I have some questions. Started talking to him. He's 23 years old. It's his first job out of college. He's SDR hire number 1. I started asking him questions like, okay, so you're building all this sales process stuff. So who's hiring these other SDRs? Oh, the head of sales. Did you have any hand in the interview process? No. Okay. Who's managing you? Well, the head of sales. Okay. So who did the process before? The head of sales. So like, what are you exactly trying to do? Well, my goal is to try to do things so that I can be an SDR manager in a year. You are rushing the process, my guy. Yeah, I said, honestly, all due respect, you need to get good at cold calling before you start worrying about how to capacity plan for an SDR team that you're not even hiring for.
Yeah.
Like slow it down. And you could tell it was like this guy, like you looked at his LinkedIn profile. It's like, I thought he was already an SDR manager because of the way his LinkedIn profile looked.
Yeah.
This guy's been in the workforce for 2 months.
Nice. And he's probably already looking for his next gig.
Slow it down. And like, I know everybody wants to get there. Dude, management isn't everything it's caught up to be. It's a freaking tough gig. It is tough. Yep. You have to have hard conversations. You have to take the heat from up top. Like, it's a tough gig. Slow the roll, vet your information, but please slow your roll and vet your information. That's so important right now.